Seven after 2, Dave Ellswick Show, KARN, a Wednesday, hump day, middle of the weekday, over the hill day, closer to Friday and a 3-day weekend than we were on Monday. And I got to tell you, I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about the winter hunt that begins Monday and goes through Wednesday, our last shot at some deers with modern guns. Of course, we can bow hunt all the way through February. I know that's what you'd really want to be doing, Congressman. You'd like to be sitting out in the stand with me, freezing your tush off.
I grew up in South Arkansas where there are more deer than there are people.
Yeah?
I mean, they're everywhere. Where do you hunt in South Arkansas?
I hunt over in East Arkansas and kind of locally down around the Alcoa area.
Yeah, Magnolia, Camden, that area.
Yeah. I'm imagining it's like crazy down there.
Everywhere.
All right, well, let's get right with it because there's a lot of stuff going on. The big one being the Social Security payroll tax fight that you and the Democrats are in, and bring us up on your vote on this and your thoughts on it.
Sure. Well, this is a package. It includes several different things. It includes the Keystone Pipeline and unemployment extension with some reforms, and then of course the payroll. It's really a holiday. It's a temporary deal. It expires, and here's the bottom line. I'd say first of all, since I started in Congress, I am a conservative. I think by any standard, but I'm pretty pragmatic in that I understand that we only control the House. And we don't control the Senate. We don't control the presidency. And so time and time again, when compromises were made to keep the government functioning and to get things done, I have chosen to vote for what I have seen as the lesser of two evils, to just keep things operating because I think that as a majority, we have the responsibility to govern. And I know some of my conservative friends and supporters disagree with that, and that's fine. But the bottom line is when we've had to make deals to get things to go forward, we've done it. Whether the budget, whether spending, the debt ceiling, whatever it was. So I say all that to say there's a bunch of us that are very conservative who I believe reflect our constituents. But when we have to work with the other side, we do it. So I say that first of all. I am all for working with the other side. But civics lessons teach me I used to watch that cartoon in the 70s, Schoolhouse Rock, with the little Bill sitting on Capitol Hill. You got the House and you got the Senate. And the way it's supposed to work is House passes something, Senate passes something. If there's disagreement, and there always is, they get together in a conference and they work it out and they reach a compromise. Well, we pass something, Senate passed something, there are differences. We've appointed the conferees to have this conference, and we would like the Senate to show up. And I dare say if it wasn't Christmas time, they'd still be up there. But it's Christmas time, and they see political opportunity, and so they went to the House.
Not to your house.
Not to my house, to their house, to the house. But yeah, that's right, to their personal houses wherever they live. But here's the bottom line. We passed a 1-year extension on this payroll tax holiday. 1 year, worth about $1,000 to the average American. The Senate passed a 2-month worth about $166 to the average American. I just don't think 2-month tax policy is the way we ought to be doing things. This is not hard. If Senator Reid would get his folks together, appoint a few conferees, all of them don't have to go back, just enough to meet in conference with our appointed ones. let's just get it done. I think we will eventually get something done. I don't know how it all plays out at this point, but I can tell you that NFIB, small businesses, lots of other groups, even the nonpartisan payroll tax association I've never even heard of, came out and said, look, 2 months payroll holiday is not workable. So I think the fact is we got $1,000 in our bill in a year, $166 in 2 months in their bill. I mean, it seems like a pretty clear choice. And a lot of us are willing to reach an agreement with the other side, but you can't talk to a wall. You got to talk to people, and they've all left. So that's sort of where we are. I think we will get there. I am optimistic, but, you know, it's going to depend on how the American people react. If the American people think that 2 months is okay and they're fine with that, then it'll probably end up being 2 months. If the American people demand that their government plan a year ahead, which is what the president wants, then I think that'll happen. It's going to depend on the public's reaction.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about this. Anybody who knows anything about business knows that businesses pay their taxes quarterly. That means 3 months increments. If they do a 2 month or force you all into doing a 2 month, then what you end up with is businesses that have to go out and buy all kinds of new software and everything to make this happen, which is going to cause them to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands of dollars.
It just doesn't, you know, if you look at it on the facts and put the politics aside, 1 year, that's what the president asked for.
Right.
We gave him 1 year. Senate gave him 2 months. Their 2 months is $166. Our 1 year is $1,000.
And the Senate is his own party.
Right. I mean, why didn't they give the president? Here's what I think is going on politically. I think the president and the Senate wanted to get out of town for Christmas. We were willing to go back, and I was back on Friday in Little Rock for the weekend, went back on Monday, flew back last night, and we're on 24 hours notice to go back. Our conferees and leadership are still up there working on the conference part of it. But I think that they wanted to get out of town. They saw a quick way to do that. And then they thought, you know, it won't be so bad if we get to fight this again in 2 months and score more political points or whatever. I think that's exactly what was going on. And I just emphasize that I have worked with them on the other side all year long. In fact, you've disagreed with me on several of those votes.
On the debt ceiling, I totally disagreed with you.
And in the spending bill a week or two ago, you know, look, I have gone the extra mile to keep things rolling, and I will do it in this case. But at some point, it's basic civics. You know, we got a House, we got a Senate, we got differences. Let's work them out in conference. That's what we call regular order. And regular order hadn't been regular in the last few years because Pelosi just decided on her own what was going to happen and didn't fool with those formalities. We're trying to get back to the way the founders wanted the House to work. So, you know, we'll see. But I believe we'll get it done, and I believe most Americans know that this is, you know, mostly politics.
All right, so you got to wait, though, to find out which side of those politics they run down because, look,
it's up to the American people, ultimately.
The TV stations and the mainstream media isn't talking about 2 months is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're just saying the Senate wants 2 months, and they want it now. They don't talk about how business is going to be affected if they go to 2 months.
Well, in the House and Senate.
Are you listening to me, 11, 4, 7, and 16?
Well, and to be fair, you know, look, the House and the Senate are equal.
Yeah.
It's not like, well, the Senate's our father or mother, and they tell us. I mean, we are equal houses, and when we have differences, there's a process for reaching across the aisle and forging an agreement, and that is called the conference process. And this is normal. It's the way. In fact, we did it with the defense bill 2 weeks ago. I was a conferee in the defense bill. So, this is all process, and it's, it gets in the weeds, I know, but it matters ultimately, because to act as if somehow because we passed a year that we don't want what the Senate wants, which they only want 2 months. I mean, it's just silly.
Oh, you want what the president wants.
Yeah.
But when the president talks about where the problem is, he points the finger at you.
Sure he does. Well, we'll get through it, and we'll figure out an agreement, and the world will continue. And I think all of the stuff that needs to be in there will be in there. And I have pushed hard for Keystone, as you know.
Yes.
And I did not say
goodness.
Keith Stone.
Right.
I did not say Keith Stone. I said Keystone, for those of you who have seen that commercial. Someone thought I said that the other day. I said, no,
okay.
not Keystone. But, I think Keystone's a no-brainer, and I know you wanted to raise that, so I'll help you segue.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and talk about it, because this is a president that keeps saying he wants to create jobs, but by drawing out this process on the Keystone Pipeline, a very good possibility Canada is going to back out of it, and then we're going to lose like 20,000 jobs nationwide. And right here at Wellspun, we're going to lose 600, 800 jobs.
Well, those are just direct jobs that
Yes.
relate to. There's all the indirect jobs. When you have someone who works on a pipeline, well, they got to eat somewhere, and they got to stay somewhere, and they got to shop somewhere, and they got to get gas and all that stuff. So those are the secondary jobs that are created from that. And look, Wellspun, I toured Wellspun. They are a great company out there in terms of the technology they use and what they're doing. And their mission is the Keystone Pipeline.
Yeah, my son works there.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes. So full disclosure here.
Yeah.
But I'd be fighting for this even if he wasn't there.
Yep.
But the bottom line is that it's one of the few bright, shining points of what's going on in Arkansas right now.
Yep.
And they may snuff it out.
Well, you got to wonder, Dave, when you look at, you had Boeing in South Carolina creating jobs. They were attacked by the administration because of the labor union stuff that was going on there, and they wanted to shut that down, but they got it all worked out, hopefully, after a lot of public pressure. Now, DOJ and the FCC protest or object to the AT&T purchase of T-Mobile, which was, by the way, going to create a lot of jobs in this state. Both parties in this state were saying, hey, this will be good for Arkansas. Now we got Keystone Pipelines under attack. And here's the deal. I went and met with some of the Canadian leaders at the embassy, and they said, look, we got all this oil sands piling up that we're mining up here in Canada. We can't just let it sit there. We've got to have it processed and refined. And we want you in the United States to be our partner. But if you're not our partner, we're not going to just stack it up. We've got to get it to a refinery. And they told me point blank the same day that it was hit the paper that they will ship it to China in a barge. And there was another article, I think, this week on that. So this is either create jobs in the United States or you can create some jobs in China. Which one do you want? And then there's the national security part of it. We want to grow more independent in terms of energy. Well, this is an opportunity to do more in our hemisphere. Canada's a foreign country, but they're a friend. They're a friendly country, as opposed to countries we buy oil from that many of which don't like us. In fact, some of them hate us. But so there are a whole host of reasons to be doing this, and a lot of people don't know it, but there are, dare I say, tens, if not hundreds of major pipelines running all over this country. I mean, all over the place. And it's done in an environmentally sound way, and it creates jobs. And I mean, I can, people say, well, then why is he against it?
Yeah, that's going to be the question. Everybody wants to know.
And I can tell you why. I can tell you why.
Go ahead.
You want me to tell you why?
Yeah.
The unions, the labor unions, agree with me and you on this one. rare point of agreement, but we agree that there are a lot of jobs here. They want it. The environmental extremist, not people that want a clean environment, I want a clean environment, but the environmental extremists are looking for any reason to oppose it. And they say it'll be devastating, et cetera, et cetera. So what you've got is you've got two core parts of the president's political base in opposition to each other. And so he looks at this with his advisor. He says, well, if I approve it, I make the environmentalists mad. If I disapprove it, I make the unions mad.
So I'll punt.
So I'll punt. And not only will I punt, I'll punt until after the election, which is so convenient. Wouldn't you think he would say, well, it's going to take a little time, but we're going to get it done as soon as possible. We may have it approved in May or June or maybe February. No, he just knows. He's just got the crystal ball. It's going to take till after the election. That's what we got. And that in a nutshell is what's going on with Keystone.
All right. Congressman Tim Griffin is here from the 2nd District. We got a few more things we want to talk about, and then the last quarter of the show, I'll open up the phone lines, and you can talk to him. It's 2:22, Dave Ellswick Show, KARN.